Hey, good morning, everybody. So today I want to talk about something that's what I believe to be one of the most important things that you have to do every day if you want to see results in your life. So outside of working a 9 to 5 job, one thing that I think everybody should do is put at least 1 to 2 hours into a project that they're working on. So I feel like a lot of us, in our free time, we'll just get home and relax, or we'll go out, and you don't ever take the time to really pick up a new skill. And I don't believe it's that some people are lazy or a lack of motivation. I feel like it's a lack of not knowing. You feel afraid to try something new. And what you need to do is just, maybe for a few months, set aside a little bit of money each paycheck, 150, $200 each paycheck. Set it aside for a few months, and with that money you go and try something that you've always wanted to do. uh like maybe if you want to try a small business, and you start on a small level, that's what you do. And if it fails, it's not gonna cost you a whole lot. You learn something from it. And a lot of times we don't know how to do new things, and I can tell you from experience, I love to just dive into things and try new projects. Um, Myself personally, I have work in about 2 hours, not like an hour actually, and I can tell you, I got up at 7 a.m. I got up early to go work on my yard, and I was tired as hell, but I live in Barstow, but I drive to Fontana. So if you're not familiar with that drive, it's like an hour to an hour and a half drive, and I do that every morning. But I also make sure to get up early almost every morning to work on something. My first project that I worked on in my house was actually my home office. So like the people who know me very well, I built this home office that I have here. I'll show you guys a quick little display of it. But like, I have my little futon. That's where my products at. I have a home business I run where I sell cards and sell toys. I have inventory trays here. Inventory, more product, my printer, another work desk, some more displays, all my product tracking, and the shipping packages. But my point is I got this office built in like a month and a half. It doesn't look like much, but let me tell you, it takes time to build things, especially when you're working a 9 to 5. And sometimes you just gotta get up and do it. Commit yourself to at least 1 to 2 hours each day. That's all it takes. Even if you don't have money, you can still work on things. Like an example of me, the office did cost me some money, but one thing that I didn't have the money for yet, because I'm still saving up right now, is working on my backyard. Um, if you guys saw my first video, I had like a really old swing set, some ugly old clotheslines, like it looks like the ones that your grandma hangs up her dry laundry on, and those were concrete rooted in. There was an old patio, like just falling apart. There's nails everywhere, rusty on some parts. There's this big old fire pit that like looks like it hasn't been used in like 15 or 20 years. Smelled really nasty too. But we've been working on my backyard. Like, I have a pomegranate tree from what you guys might have seen too. I got the pomegranate tree trimmed up. There's a bunch of leaves and stuff that fell off my tree here that we got cleared up. The fire pit, the hole that was in the ground here, is now filled up, and you can see some of the leftover debris and like just like the old stones that were used here. We took down the patio, so that ugly patio you saw in my last video, that thing's gone now. I really dislike that. The next thing I want to get rid of is this chicken coop. It is just horrendous. Like, this thing looks like it was here like 20 years ago. And then my garden, I showed you guys my garden last time. Check it out. I got my plants coming out. The whole garden's not growing. You know, I mean, I got my carrots sprouting over here. But, you know, it's a work in progress, and that just goes back to my point, you know, try something new. I don't know anything about gardening, and I saved a little bit extra money. It only cost me like $50 to set up that little garden. And, you know, hopefully it's going to get me some vegetables for the winter time. See how that goes. But, you know, you don't have to have money to work on a project. It just takes a commitment, like an hour or two every day. Just get up, and if there's something you've been wanting to do, get yourself up and do it consistently. A little bit of time before work or a little bit of time after work, you know. Just get to it. Stop making excuses. My personal plans, I mean, the reason I'm so motivated right now to work on this backyard is, I mean, I have a big backyard, and what I want to do with my yard is, I mean, since it's such a large backyard and I have an entry port here, I've been looking at the prefabricated homes. Like, I've seen there's some, I mean, I don't know much about it, obviously, but, you know, just back to my point, you gotta jump into things and learn. You know, some things are gonna cost you money, or it could be a very successful risk. That's the name of the game. But I could easily build at least 2 or 3 of these like fabricated homes I've been looking at in my backyard, gate it off, put some concrete slabs, put some carports, and I could make a few passive income rental properties here. I have a lot of land here that's just not, I don't plan, I mean, I could use it to like make a really nice backyard setup, but before I get comfortable, I need to be sustainable. And, you know, for me personally, I just want to make sure, I mean, if I want to enjoy myself, I'm gonna have to have freedom from a 9-to-5 job, and truthfully speaking, I'm not there yet. So I think that's a conversation everybody needs to be honest with themselves with. You know, everybody wants to buy luxurious things, or, you know, they want to enjoy certain experiences, but then if you have to go back to work the next day, it's like, it just sucks. So like, for me, my priority is, you know, instead of me having a nice backyard, I want to build something that's going to make me money back here, something that's going to make me more money, more income. The faster I move up, the faster I can live a life that I want to live. You know, my home, if you guys remember, it cost me like $150K. You know, and by California standards, it's not very expensive. If you guys haven't checked out my last video, go ahead and look at that. My first video on how you can prepare to buy your first home. And it's honestly one of the first steps that you guys are going to have to take if you guys want to start securing a financially free future. So one thing I want you guys to kind of think about more is like what's something that you've been wanting to work on? What's a project that you've had in your mind for several months, maybe weeks, or even a few days, that you really wanted to do? And think about the tools you may need to get there, or what you might have to put in. And what I want you guys to do is, you know, look at how much you're making from your 9-to-5 job every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, or weekly if you get paid weekly. Look at how much you're making and create a plan for yourself. Like, okay, if you need $2,000 to get some business equipment going for what you want to do, and you have 3 months to do that, right? 3 months, that's about 6 paychecks, you know? So maybe about like $600 a month is what you're gonna need to get, I mean, or $650, I would say, to get there. So what you need to do is strategize. You know, every paycheck pull off like $325. That's not a lot of money. I mean, a lot of us are just, I mean, I wouldn't say myself anymore, but a lot of people I know who are my age, like in their early 20s, mid 20s, they're just, you know, they want to go out to the club, they want to get drunk every weekend, they want to go party. You know, you look at how much money and time you're putting into something like that that's not benefiting you. And, you know, it could be upwards of like $500 to $600. You might not realize how much it costs because you're not tracking that money you're spending. But I can guarantee you it's like $500 or $600 maybe every couple of weeks or a month that you're spending. Why not sacrifice that for a few months only, and so you can get a startup for a small business or a project? You know, something about working on projects is if you're keen on constantly working on projects, it makes you feel really good about yourself. Like you know, a lot of people talk about like, oh, I'm depressed, or I'm hidden, or I'm not feeling motivated. And it's the reason you feel that way is because you're not doing anything. Like, you're not working on anything. And you feel like when you're talking to people, like they ask you, what are you doing? Oh, I'm not really doing much. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to college for my master's in psychology. It doesn't have to be something like that. Just work on something that excites you, something that you really want to get into, something that you feel is going to improve just your well-being. I mean, for me, it was having that peace of mind of knowing that I'm working on becoming financially secure from somebody with the background of a very poor family, and once I get there, it's like the sky's the limit. Once you really get your financial freedom, you can pretty much live your life however you want. I mean, of course, be responsible, but but that's pretty much all I want to say. Comment under this video what you guys absolutely want to do in the next few months, and I want you guys to make a plan for yourself, how much you need to save, and set a target for yourself of how much you need. And when you get there, when you get that amount of money saved up, jump into that project. Stop shying away from it. Take a chance, give it a shot. It'll be the best thing you ever done for yourself. Even if you fail, like I've failed so many times on so many different things, but you know what, I love it when I fail. And I'm not saying that to sound generic, like, oh yeah, it's good to fail. It's like, you like it because you learn, and then that next 3 months, that next $2,000 you saved up, it gets easier because now you know the mistakes that you made before, and you're not going to make them again. And you fine tailor a skill, and you constantly get better at it. So keep that in mind, guys. Best of luck to you, and goodbye.